And good morning. It's your friendly neighborhood Tironan, and today we're flying the BF-109G. We're closing in on finishing up with the aircraft, and this is an aircraft that has not received nearly the attention from me that it should have gotten. So, what are we looking at here? Well, let's take the alt view off. I'm pretty sure we're going to want that airbase, the command center, so we can get our bombers into place. And I need to help my compatriots with the fighters. And I will choose the lowest fighter because I don't have to worry about him getting on my tail. And we're going to slow up a little bit because I'm about to outrun him. And the curse and the blessing of the BF-109G is its 30mm cannon. And you're going to say that's a strange comment, and I'd agree. Part of it is that the 30mm is not the easiest thing to live with, even though it hits tremendously hard. And it's kind of laggy. Arcy, I should say. It's very high arc compared to what it should be. And that's because it was a low velocity cannon. The Germans actually looked at this in World War II and decided that the quality of the munitions, the amount of explosive that it carried, was far more important than the velocity. And since they were fighting a war and their country depended on the performance of their fighters to a good degree, I guess they had a pretty good reason for deciding that wasn't the case. But you can see how laggy the main armament of this is. But one hit and it's over. And that does not make it the most fun aircraft to deal with. I would have actually far preferred to have 13mm on this than the 30mm cannon. But you got what you got. And it takes a little while to kind of zero in on what you're getting or how to use the guns effectively. And then once you get the hang of it, if you play it a few times, then you get it and all's good with the world. That thing's quick. Only got one good hit on him anyway. Finally got him. Well, it took a lot of work. Good pilot. An LA-7 can be a pretty vicious opponent. Yes, you're seeing another video that I worked on being uploaded as we speak and finished uploading. And one thing about fighting over air base is, boy, your numbers can sure flip around on you quick. And that is the blessing of the 30mm. Boy, will it make a difference in a hurry. Either he was chewed up or I got a shell on him that I didn't realize. Oh, no mistaking that one, is there? Now what I'm doing is the same thing that I would be doing on a P-51 series aircraft, which is going after boom and zoomers. Because the role's the same. You're fast, you're able to get on somebody's tail, and they can't do too much about it.
The enemy has captured the command center. Don't let them gain a foothold.
Alright. Yes, I can jump right back into the battle. Oh, it didn't take me there after all. Alright. Yes, it did. Okay. I was confused. And Sergeant Blaze. There he is. Lost track of him there for a second. Guess we're kind of doomed to kill each other today. And I see we've changed hands again. And let's see if we can, probably air defense fighter. They spawn behind me. And my pilot's injured, give him a little first aid there, get myself turned around, and get that nasty LA-7 off my tail. Let's see if we can't make him pay for it.
We cannot support you any longer. The force is too heavy. Do you copy? Over.
A little bit slow when you're in a climb, goes a very long way, don't overdo it. Alright. You do have I can tell some differences with the upgrades I've put on, and I have put on the aircraft polish, and I have put on the control surface adjustments. I'm not picking on Sergeant Blaze, but he's after another one of our aircraft, and I am got to protect your fellow pilots if you want to win in this game at all when you're in a fighter. You ain't not going to win when you're outnumbered. You do have good altitude capability in these aircraft, so do not be afraid to climb and compete at high altitude. The 109 for a long period in the war was one of the few aircraft that could get up there and really fight well at altitude. It had all sorts of other challenges, but that wasn't one of them. Having a hard time picking out who is on my tail, and it's a self-defense fighter. Boy, it gets difficult when you're that outnumbered. Luckily, I do have friends. The nice thing about the BF-109G is you really don't take your head off to any other single engine fighter in the game. You're as fast as most of them. That's your tier. You have more than sufficient gun power once you get used to it, and let's see if I've got, no, I haven't got repair facilities on this. Okay, but you're as fast as any other aircraft up there. You've got altitude capability, I believe, up to 7,200 feet on this,
Keep it up, pilot.
which means you can test up there in the high altitudes. You can chase down and kill most of the heavy fighters that you run across.
I'm proud of you, pilot.
All right, so we did pretty good on that flight. So turn to the hangar, we'll see what we actually did. I held off on the upgrade while I was upgrading everything else, and I put this on a back burner, and I needed to get it up to ME 209. All right, we killed 6 targets. We assisted with 7 others. We were destroyed once. Good fighter. And team score came in. Sergeant Blaze did very well. And Hayabusa Tsurugi and the J71 turned in a spectacular performance. And that's not the easiest aircraft to muster. The most kills I've ever gotten, and it was 12. Oops. And he killed 17, so he's going after bombers, I'm pretty sure. Because I didn't see that much of him in there. Saw a little bit. But yeah, nice performance. Well done. Okay, so, and then Sergeant Blaze, we shot him down a couple times, but he did awfully well in there. Again, he got me once, as a matter of fact. The next goal on this is to upgrade the to the lightweight airframe. Right now I'm a little shy on coin to do that, so we'll have to that'll have to wait. The idea is to grind this thing up to the ME 209. And this is part of why I had so much problem with this aircraft. Was this aircraft in World of Warplanes is a world beater. It's a very, very good aircraft. Problem was, it doesn't translate to reality. I never got out of past the prototype stage because it performed so poorly. Okay, so anyway, let's deal with what we got, though, instead of what is. With this aircraft, you're going to get 2 20 millimeters, and then you get a 30 millimeter. That's going to be a pretty outstanding combination. And if you just want to stay with more fighter-friendly, but to give you an idea here, information, so you're going to get 190 out of it or so. And then you get another 110 there, so the, you know, if you just upgrade to that gun alone, which you, unless I missed my, yes, you probably have one of those in stock, but you're going to go through this airframe first. All right, and then you get this, which is the range on it's what you're looking for. This is a Mark 103 Heavy. I guess it's a I'd have to go and look on Wikipedia and some other sources I have on autocannon development. But all put together, this is a very effective aircraft. You still get a 10-second turn time, which is going to put you right up there with the P-51H in speed and in firepower. So it's going to be a worthy competitor up there. You know, you'll have the other fighters that you have to deal with, but your firepower is going to far exceed a P-51, and your reach on it is going to far exceed a P-51, and that's going to make it a pretty formidable competitor. And then you start going down this line, and they get pretty darn nice. When you start talking about 550 miles an hour, that's pretty sharp, especially with 420 millimeters on it. And these are interesting weapons. They didn't exist. They never got out of prototype stage because they were so difficult to figure out. And what these are, to let you know, what we're looking at here is when I talk about the M39, this is the predecessor to all of them, right here. This was one of them, is still in use with aircraft today from the principles that they brought in. They tried to, this is a revolver cannon, so what you do is take 5 chambers and you mate them up and they fire, and so you feed at one end, you fire, and then you extract on the other. So all that doesn't happen in the firing sequence. All right, every time that thing clicks over, it has another chamber. You're not waiting on the mechanism itself. You're waiting on how fast you can revolve the cylinders. And they try to do that with making it gas operated, and they never got it to working. But it was such a revolutionary idea that the Swiss picked it up, the Americans picked it up, the French picked it up, and the British picked it up. But to give you an idea of how difficult this was, the first of them to come out, to my knowledge, was in a working format, was the U.S. M39. And it was used in the Korean War, in the waning days of the Korean War, on the F-86F. It was rushed into combat to try it out in actual combat, and it performed spectacularly. And if you've seen any of my videos on the XF5U, the gun literally makes the whole aircraft worthwhile. It was kind of a dog with 650s, no matter if it's an improved version or not. The thing about this design was, because you have 5 chambers, you could always have a round loaded. You could, as fast as you could cycle that cannon, that revolver around, the revolving breech around, is how fast you could fire. So you could get 1,500 rounds a minute out of the thing. Now, they never got out of the prototype stage, and it doesn't take a genius to figure out what the waning days of World War II were like for Germany. So getting anything done in a country that's under siege like that is kind of tough. And they didn't have a whole lot of luck getting it out. But this is a notional aircraft with a notional gun. So there you go. But this is going to make a very nice addition to this platform. So it gives you an idea just to, where you're going with the aircraft, and we'll go on back to reality here. That's why I'm pursuing it. But if you want to go down national lines like they have, then you're kind of stuck with this. For what it's worth. Obviously, the next aircraft that belonged to the Luftwaffe were American and British aircraft that they could get cheap after we decided we really needed West Germany. They were, believe it or not, going to turn it into a pastoral country, just, yeah. What do you say? Politics. Blech. All right. Listen, folks, that's going to wrap this up. The next time that you see an aircraft, this aircraft will be if I buy it again after I hit Tier 10. But I wanted to finish up with this and show you what it could do. Well, we may make one more when I get the lightweight airframe, because I have never done justice to this aircraft. So if when I get it, I'll put it up one more time, and that will be the end of that. Since I have to earn 400,000 silver to purchase it, that's life in the big city, right? All right, gentlemen, I do want to thank you very much for watching. I also want to thank you for all the subscriptions we've gotten. We've grown this channel from 0 to over 200 subscribers, and we're heading swiftly to 250, and that's due to you, not due to me. And I want you to know how much I appreciate you. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart and with all humility, I thank you. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.